Okay, let's unpack this. Welcome to the deep dive.
Glad to be here.
Today, we're embarking on a really insightful journey. We're looking into an incredible source of wisdom excerpts from timeless wisdom from Surah Luqman.
Mm-hmm.
You've brought us this fascinating material, and our mission, well, it's what we always do, extract the most profound insights,
Mm-hmm.
the practical life lessons and those aha moments, the kind that leave you feeling not just informed, but genuinely well-versed.
Right. Getting beyond just the surface.
Exactly. Now, Surah Luqman, it's the 31st chapter of the Holy Quran, revealed during the Makki period, which is interesting, right? Before the formal Islamic state.
Yeah, that's a key point.
And what's striking is its focus on foundational beliefs and ethical conduct before all the complexities of governance kicked in.
Which really suggests these principles are, well, they're universal, enduring,
Yeah.
deeply personal for all of us, really, no matter our circumstances.
Absolutely.
And what's truly compelling, I think, is how the Surah, even coming from that early Makki period, lays down such comprehensive ethical principles. It's remarkable.
Comprehensive is the word.
It is, and it doesn't just list rules,
Yep.
It intricately links them directly to the very core of faith. Which really underscores that righteous conduct isn't just like a consequence of belief or something nice to have. It's an intrinsic, inseparable part of it.
Ah, okay. So faith and action are tied together from the start.
Precisely. And the wisdom we see from Luqman in this surah, it's clearly divinely approved. What strikes me is just how holistic it is.
Holistic how?
Well, it covers everything. I mean, from the absolute foundation, avoiding polytheism, shirk all the way to cultivating, humility in your day-to-day interactions.
Right down to the details.
Exactly. It clearly shows that these ethical principles, they're fundamentally intertwined with a sound belief system. They're essential for building a genuine relationship with the divine.
That's a powerful way to frame it. Not just rules, but a whole way of being, completely linked to faith itself. That's it.
So let's start at the very beginning of this text. How does it describe itself? And crucially, who does it say really benefits from its guidance? It opens with those, enigmatic letters, alif, lam, mim.
The huruf muqatta'at.
Right. What's the significance of starting a divine text like that? It feels almost cryptic.
Well, those opening letters, alif, lam, mim, they're part of what are called, huruf muqatta'at, or disconnected letters.
Disconnected letters.
And their precise meaning. Honestly, it's known only to Allah, which in itself is a pretty profound statement, right? About the limits of our knowledge versus the divine source.
Sets a tone of mystery almost.
It does. But scholars, they've thought about the wisdom behind it. Maybe it's to draw attention to the miracle of the Quran itself, made from the same letters we use, yet totally incomparable in its depth and power. It definitely sets a tone of awe, reverence.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
And right after that, the Quran is declared revelations of the wise scripture, a guidance and a mercy for the good. Yes. And that phrase, wise scripture, that's absolutely crucial. It means every single teaching, every command, every story in the Quran. It's all based on profound divine wisdom.
Not arbitrary.
Not at all. It tells us the commands aren't just random. They're divinely ordained with an ultimate purpose, a deep understanding of, everything. Human nature, the universe, eternity.
Okay. And the guidance and mercy part.
Right. It's vital to get this. These amazing benefits, they aren't just for everyone passively tuning in.
Oh, right.
No, the text is specific. They're for the musinin, the doers of good.
Musinin, doers of good.
Yeah. So it implies that only people who already have a righteous disposition, those genuinely seeking well-being, willing to embrace good, actively striving for moral excellence, shunning evil, only they will truly grasp and benefit from this message.
So it's not passive reception at all.
Not at all. It's active engagement, a readiness to align yourself with its teachings, a real desire to cultivate goodness inside yourself.
So it's not just a book for the good, but guidance that actually requires goodness to unlock its potential.
Yeah,
That's
fair.
That's really interesting.
Precisely.
And this is where it gets incredibly insightful, because the surah then goes on to describe these musinin with 3 fundamental qualities. Can you walk us through those? And maybe, I don't know, are they what we'd expect? Or is there something unique about this specific trio?
That's a great question. And you're right, they aren't just sort of generic good deeds picked at random. This trio reveals a really deeply integrated approach to piety.
Okay, I'm listening.
So the first quality is establishing prayer, or salat.
Right, the 5 daily prayers.
Yes, but it's framed here as more than just the ritual. The text says it's about cultivating God worship and piety as a permanent habit.
A permanent habit, not just an action.
Exactly. It means fostering a continuous remembrance, a constant connection with Allah, making that connection an integral, ever-present part of your life, not just something you do 5 times and then forget about.
So it shifts prayer from just an obligation to, like a constant awareness.
Spot on. It reminds you of your purpose, your creator. Throughout the whole day, it really anchors your life.
Okay, that's prayer. What's the second quality?
The second is paying zakah, or the poor due. Now, this is interesting because zakah often gets linked more formally with the later Madani period, when the state was established, laws for collection, distribution.
Yeah, the formal system.
Exactly. But its specific mention here in a Makki surah is really significant.
Oh, yeah, that.
It shows its early importance as a fundamental spiritual and ethical command, even before there was a state to enforce it.
Ah, so it wasn't just about state taxes later on. It was spiritual from the start.
Absolutely. The text says it strengthens the spirit of sacrifice, diminishes the love of the world, and fosters a desire for the goodwill of Allah.
Powerful effects.
Very. It shows that social responsibility, purifying your wealth, it's not just a legal thing for an established state. It's fundamental to individual piety right from the beginning. It's about recognizing our wealth isn't solely ours. It has a divine purpose beyond just us. It's meant to circulate, purify.
Okay, prayer and zakah. What's the third?
The third quality, and this provides the ultimate motivation, really, is sure faith in the hereafter.
Belief in life after death, judgment.
Yes, but with certainty. The text says it instills a profound sense of responsibility and answerability.
Responsibility, meaning?
Meaning you recognize with deep conviction that you're living under the watchful eye of an ultimate master, that your life isn't without consequence, that every action, every intention, it'll all be accounted for.
That changes everything, doesn't it?
It fundamentally shapes your decisions, your actions. It stops you from living heedlessly without accountability. It anchors your life firmly in purpose, meaning, and this constant awareness of eternity. And these 3 qualities, they don't just stand alone. They're deeply intertwined. They almost build on each other.
So?
Well, prayer fosters that constant piety, that direct connection. Zakah cultivates detachment from materialism, increases love for Allah through giving, and belief in the hereafter. That instills the unwavering accountability.
Right.
Together, they create what I'd call a robust, integrated framework, moral and spiritual. It ensures goodness is systematic, intentional, deeply rooted in conviction. Not just accidental or circumstantial. It's a whole system, internal and external.
So if you get one right, it helps the others. Like a virtuous cycle.
Yeah, pretty much. That makes perfect sense.
Okay. And for these musinin, the doers of good, who embody these qualities, what's the ultimate promise, the outcome?
The surah is explicit. It promises them. Such have guidance from their Lord. Such are the successful.
The successful.
Yes. And this is a profoundly powerful counter-narrative, especially given when it was revealed.
How do you mean?
Well, in that era, the early believers, they were often ridiculed, right? People said they were ruining their lives, sacrificing worldly status, wealth, by following this new faith.
Like giving things up.
Exactly. But the surah asserts unequivocally that true success goes way beyond just material prosperity or fleeting status.
It's a different kind of success.
It's holistic, enduring. It encompasses spiritual well-being, moral integrity, deep peace of mind, and ultimately eternal salvation. It's a promise of guidance leading not to ruin, but to a profound, lasting triumph, both here and in the hereafter.
That's a powerful contrast indeed. Okay,
That's
so
right.
after defining success and how to get there, the surah then gives this stark warning about what prevents it, the peril of distraction and arrogance.
A very sharp turn.
It's fascinating how it does that. First, the positive picture, then immediately, the counterpoint. This idle talk, or law al-hadith. It sounds like the polar opposite of what we just discussed. What exactly is this stuff?
It is a dramatic and very intentional shift. It highlights the precise opposite path to the musinin, la al-hadith. It's broadly defined as anything that actively diverts a person from remembering and worshiping Allah.
Anything. That sounds broad.
It is, and it's not just harmless chit-chat. It can cover a wide, often subtle range of things. Certain types of thinking or music that lead to heedlessness, yeah. But also nonsensical talk, vain conversation, malicious gossip, even just really captivating, distracting stories or narratives that pull you away.
So it's the effect that matters, the diversion.
Exactly. The key isn't just the idleness of the talk, but its explicit purpose or effect. Historically, there were figures like Najib bin Harith in Makkah,
I've heard of him.
right, a prominent opponent. He actively used entertaining Persian tales, even employed singing girls, specifically to distract people from listening to the Quran, to stop them contemplating its message.
Wow. So it was weaponized entertainment.
Pretty much. This idle talk wasn't just casual fun, it was a deliberate tactic, intended specifically to mislead men from the path of Allah and to mock Islam and its followers, to make the truth seem boring or unappealing.
And the consequence.
The surah mentions a humiliating torment on the day of resurrection, which, seems a fitting consequence for showing such profound disrespect for Allah's signs and message.
Yeah.
It really highlights the serious spiritual danger of using communication or entertainment to actively sabotage truth.
That brings up a crucial point, thinking about idle talk today.
Yeah.
Our world is saturated with distraction, isn't it?
Yeah.
Social media, endless streaming, clickbait.
Constant noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How might this ancient condemnation of law al-hadith give us maybe an uncomfortable new way to look at our own digital consumption? What's the misleading part today that might not be so obvious?
That's an excellent, a deeply relevant question for us now. If we translate the essence of law al-hadith into our modern context, it's not just about content that's explicitly anti-religious.
Okay.
It's about anything that so captures our minds and our time that it effectively diverts us from our real purpose, from reflection, from spiritual growth, from remembering our Creator. Think about that endless scroll,
Oh, yeah. The doom scroll.
Or binge-watching shows for hours, the constant barrage of news or entertainment designed purely to trigger an emotional reaction, keep you hooked.
So the misleading aspect isn't always overt mocking anymore.
Often it's more subtle, a kind of spiritual erosion. It misleads by fostering constant distraction, making deep thought or quiet reflection seem boring, tedious. It can normalize triviality, make us less discerning about what we consume, what truly matters. It can cultivate superficiality, where instant gratification, fleeting trends, replace genuine connection and meaning.
So we might not be mocking faith.
Right. But we could be so immersed in all the digital noise that we effectively become deaf to any deeper call, any truth. It kind of numbs our spiritual faculties, makes us indifferent to divine guidance, even if that wasn't the intent of the content creator. It's a kind of passive spiritual neglect caused by overwhelming distraction.
That's a powerful insight. So it's not just what you consume, but how it impacts your inner state. And the text itself talks about spiritual deafness and pride. Can you elaborate on that progression from distraction to heedlessness?
Yes, the surah describes a really stark progression from engaging with idle talk to this profound state of spiritual deafness and arrogance.
How does it describe it?
It says, when Allah's verses are recited to such people, he turns away in pride, as if he heard them not, as if there were deafness in his ear, so announce to him a painful torment.
As if he heard them not. That's chilling.
It is. Because it's not an accident, not just failing to hear. It's a deliberate, willful turning away from truth. And it's driven by arrogance, a profound lack of interest in divine guidance.
And the punishment fits the crime, so to speak.
Exactly. The painful torment awaiting them is proportionate to their disdain in this life. It will be as painful for them as listening to the Quran was annoying or bothersome, a direct consequence of their spiritual apathy and pride.
So distraction leads to heedlessness, which hardens into arrogance.
And that ultimately prevents accepting truth and brings on divine wrath. And this isn't just about big acts of disbelief. Scholars have actually classified law into different categories based on its intent and impact. It gives us a spectrum.
Okay, like what?
Well, it can range from kufr, infidelity, the most severe, if it's specifically intended to mislead from religion or deny truth. Then there's haram, forbidden for sinful things like gambling, immodest fiction, anything directly against Islamic principles.
Right.
And then there's makruh, repugnant or disliked. This is for activities that just waste time without any real benefit, even if they aren't explicitly sinful.
Just wasting time can be makruh.
According to this framework, yes. Because it highlights that the spiritual impact of an action, not just its apparent harmlessness, is what matters.
That reframes a lot of things.
It does. It extends way beyond just music. It applies to all media, all discourse, entertainment, even our hobbies. It urges us to constantly ask, is this actually benefiting my soul? Or is it subtly drawing me away from my purpose?
So even what seems harmless, just killing time, has a spiritual weight. That's a big shift in perspective.
It is.
Now, In stark contrast to this severe warning about distraction and arrogance, what does Allah promise for those who believe and actively avoid these pitfalls?
For those who choose faith, who choose righteous actions, who cultivate awareness and avoid the traps of la al-hadith, Allah promises something beautiful. He says, "Verily, those who believe and do righteous good deeds, for them are gardens of delight. To abide therein, it is a promise of Allah in truth, and He is the Almighty, the All-Wise."
Gardens of delight, paradise.
Yes, an eternal reward for faith and good deeds. It underscores Allah's absolute power to fulfill His promises and His profound wisdom in everything He decrees. It's a reassurance that their efforts, their struggles against distraction and heedlessness will be justly rewarded with ultimate enduring bliss.
It seems the answer to spiritual blindness isn't just avoiding the bad stuff, but actively engaging with truth, with the signs all around us. And the next section guides us brilliantly on where to find that truth, in the magnificent signs of creation itself. The surah then transitions beautifully, doesn't it?
Yeah.
To this powerful assertion of Allah's creative power, inviting us to really reflect on the natural world. Expert, what are some of these compelling signs? And how do they act as an antidote to that heedlessness we just talked about?
The Surah points to several undeniable, truly awe-inspiring signs. Each one is a profound testament to the divine. First, it mentions the heavens without any pillars visible to you.
Heavens without pillars.
Yeah. And this can be understood in a couple of profound ways, both inspiring awe. Either the vast cosmos literally stands without visible support, which would have been miraculous to the early Arabs.
Yeah, imagine.
Or they're upheld by unseen forces like gravity, which we now understand holds galaxies, planets in perfect orbit. For those early Arabs, imagining something so huge suspended with no visible props, truly miraculous. A direct sign of an unseen, all-powerful hand.
For us today, knowing about gravity and cosmology,
it speaks to an intricate, invisible architecture holding everything in perfect balance. It's almost like the Quran was speaking to both the immediate human experience and hinting at scientific truths discovered centuries later, which reinforces its divine origin, its timeless relevance.
that's fascinating. What else?
Then it says, He placed mountains in the earth as pegs lest it should turn topsy-turvy with you. Mountains described as deep anchors, like tent pegs, stabilizing the earth.
Like tent pegs.
Exactly, preventing it from shaking or becoming unstable, which is remarkable given our modern geological understanding. We know mountains have deep roots extending into the mantle, playing a role in tectonic stability.
Something not obvious to the naked eye back then.
Not at all. Another profound sign. And then, of course, there's the creation of all the diverse animals across the earth, each perfectly adapted.
Incredible diversity.
And coupled with that, sending down water from the sky, causing all kinds of excellent plants to grow. The sheer variety of vegetation, food, medicine, all sustained by the water cycle. Another undeniable sign of Allah's creative power, His sustaining power, His meticulous care.
Okay, so these signs are presented right after the warning about idle talk. Why?
Well, the juxtaposition is really significant. The surah condemns those who turn away through heedlessness, through idle talk. Then immediately it presents these undeniable, tangible signs in the heavens and earth.
Ah, the contrast.
Exactly. It implies a deliberate contrast. While distractions lead away from truth into spiritual blindness, active contemplation, deep reflection on the beauty and order of creation, that leads directly to the truth of Allah's oneness, Tawhid.
So observing creation is the antidote.
It's presented as the fundamental antidote to spiritual blindness. The path to guidance isn't just avoiding evil, it's actively seeking and recognizing truth through profound reflection on the universe around us. It's an invitation. Look up, look around, truly see.
That's beautifully put. A deliberate invitation to observe and connect. And this reflection on creation then leads to a powerful challenge, doesn't it? To polytheists, those associating partners with Allah. What's the core of that argument?
The surah poses this razor-sharp rhetorical question. It cuts through all false pretenses. Such is Allah's creation. Show me, then, what any others, apart from Allah, have created. Nay, the fact is that the wrongdoers are in manifest error.
Show me what they created.
Precisely. It fundamentally underscores a core logical point. Only Allah is the creator and sustainer. Therefore, only He, the sole originator, deserves worship.
It seems obvious when put like that.
It does, and the commentary on this verse really emphasizes the sheer irrationality, the glaring logical fallacy of worshiping deities that have no power to create, sustain, or fulfill any needs.
Right, if they created nothing.
How can they possibly be worthy of worship? How can they answer prayers or grant wishes? Their worship isn't just misguided, it's called manifest error, an obvious, undeniable mistake, a clear deviation from truth that even basic common sense would spot if it wasn't clouded by prejudice.
So it's an intellectual argument, too.
Absolutely. It's a timeless intellectual argument against polytheism, and by extension against atheism, too. It implies that true rationality, unclouded common sense, necessitates recognizing a singular, all-powerful creator. A sound intellect, free from prejudice or blind imitation, will inevitably arrive at Tawhid, the oneness of God, just by observing and reflecting on creation. It's a call to think critically, demand evidence, choose truth based on reason.
This deep reflection on creation perfectly sets the stage for what is truly the central gem of the surah, the timeless wisdom of Luqman to his son, an incredibly practical guide for a righteous life.
The heart of the surah, really.
Absolutely. Luqman, who has given al-Hikmah this profound wisdom and religious understanding, he gives his comprehensive advice to his son. Where does he even begin with counsel that important?
He begins, as any true guide must, with the absolute cornerstone of faith, the foundation upon which everything else rests, the prohibition of shirk, associating partners with Allah.
The absolute baseline.
Yes. He tells his son, with that fatherly love and seriousness, "O my son, join not in worship others with Allah. Verily, joining others in worship with Allah is a great zulm, wrong indeed."
A great zulm, a great wrong.
And this isn't just any wrong, host. While zulm generally means injustice, here it signifies the ultimate transgression, the absolute worst wrong.
How do we know it means shirk specifically?
Well, the gravity is confirmed in authentic hadith. When another verse was revealed, it is those who believe and confuse not their belief with zulm, wrong. The Prophet's companions got worried. They thought it meant any wrongdoing and feared they could never avoid it.
Understandable.
But the Prophet, peace be upon him, clarified. He said wrong, in that context, specifically means shirk, and he cited Luqman's advice right here as the proof.
Okay, so it's crystal clear?
It highlights that the gravest injustice isn't actually against another human. It's against the Creator himself, by giving partners or equals to him when he is absolutely one, unique. It's the ultimate misplacement of worship, the ultimate disrespect to the source of everything. So Luqman starts with the absolute essential. Get your relationship with your Creator right first.
Okay, foundation first. Then, right after this ultimate command, Luqman immediately turns to a core human relationship. The sacred rights of parents.
A crucial juxtaposition.
What does he advise here? Especially in those incredibly tough situations where there might be conflict, maybe even profound religious disagreement.
This is a truly remarkable example of Islamic balance, that tension between divine rights and human obligations. The verse states, "And we have enjoined on man to be dutiful and good to his parents. His mother bore him in weakness upon weakness, and his weaning is in 2 years. Give thanks to me and to your parents. To me is the final destination."
Weakness upon weakness. It really paints a picture of the mother's struggle.
It profoundly emphasizes immense gratitude and kindness to parents, particularly acknowledging the mother's huge sacrifices, the physical, emotional toll of pregnancy, childbirth, early childhood. It directly links gratitude to Allah with gratitude to parents, makes it a dual, inseparable jitty.
But what if the parents aren't guiding towards Allah? What if they push towards disbelief?
And here's the crucial, incredibly powerful hierarchy. It gives us a model for navigating these moral dilemmas. But if they both strive with you to make you join in worship with me, others of which you have no knowledge, then obey them not.
Okay, so don't obey in disbelief.
Correct. But behave kindly with them in the world, and follow the way of those who turn to me in devotion.
Behave kindly, even then.
Yes. Even if parents are actively trying to make you commit shirk, you must not obey that command. But, and this is vital, even in that grave religious disagreement, you are still commanded to maintain kindness, good companionship, respectful conduct in all worldly matters. Imam al-Sadi, a great commentator, explicitly says, "Not obey them in committing shirk, but as for treating them well, then continue upon that."
So hold your ground on faith, but maintain kindness in behavior.
Exactly. It teaches an invaluable lesson. Allah's rights are supreme, inviolable. But human obligations, especially to parents, are upheld as much as possible within faith's boundaries. It means even in the toughest situations, the believer should embody grace, patience, compassion, try to influence through good character, continued respect, not severance or disrespect.
That's a profound level of nuance.
It avoids being combative while staying true. And hadith literature really backs this up. Immense reward for serving parents, their satisfaction linked to Allah's disobedience being a major sin. It shows the incredible weight Islam gives to maintaining these bonds.
Wow, expert that balance. Respecting parents, even when they disagree religiously, that's a tough one,
Yeah.
but incredibly powerful. It really makes you realize how deeply Islam thinks about human relationships.
It certainly does.
And speaking of deep thought, Luqman then goes even deeper, instilling this sense of accountability for literally every single action. How does he manage to convey that kind of cosmic awareness so vividly?
He uses this truly powerful, relatable metaphor. It shrinks the vastness of divine knowledge into a simple, unforgettable image. He says, "Oh, my dear son, if a deed were the weight of a mustard seed, be it tomorrow in a rock or in the heavens or the earth, Allah will bring it forth. Surely Allah is most subtle, all-aware."
The weight of a mustard seed, the tiniest thing.
Exactly. It signifies the smallest, most insignificant amount imaginable. Luqman is telling his son, no action, no intention, no thought, no matter how tiny, no matter how hidden may be inside solid rock, lost in the heavens, buried in the earth, nothing escapes Allah's all-encompassing knowledge, his meticulous accountability. He will bring it forth for reckoning.
That's breathtaking, actually.
It instills this profound awareness of Allah's omniscience, his absolute precision, and this connects directly to a hadith, doesn't it?
You mean the one about pride?
Exactly. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "He who has in his heart the weight of a mustard seed of pride shall not enter paradise." It uses the same metaphor, the mustard seed, to stress the extreme precision of divine judgment, even for the slightest internal states, hidden deeds, not just the big, obvious actions.
So the implication for us, for you listening.
It cultivates profound self-awareness, encourages constant, meticulous mindfulness of your actions, your intentions, knowing with certainty that absolutely nothing gets missed, nothing escapes Allah's knowledge and final reckoning. It's a call to live with continuous introspection, really.
Okay. After laying this foundation of absolute accountability, Luqman then outlines the practical pillars of a righteous life, the actual blueprint for living it out. What are these core directives that build on that foundation?
These are the actions that really manifest belief, build a life of purpose. Luqman advises, "Oh, my dear son, establish prayer, encourage what is good and forbid what is evil, and endure patiently whatever befalls you. Surely this is a resolve to aspire to."
Establish prayer again.
Yes, establishing prayer, salat, is reaffirmed. Its repetition really emphasizes its importance as the primary constant connection to Allah, a perpetual reminder, a source of strength.
And then encouraging good and forbidding evil.
Encourage what is good and forbid what is evil. Amr bil maruf wa nahi anil munkar. This isn't just presented as an individual thing, but as a crucial communal obligation, vital for society's well-being, its moral health.
Not just pointing fingers, though.
No. It's about actively promoting what's right and gently discouraging what's wrong, always within the bounds of wisdom and gentleness. There's actually a hadith warning that neglecting this duty can lead to divine punishment, even prayers not being accepted. It highlights its importance for the whole community's moral fabric. Collective responsibility.
Okay. Prayer, enjoining good, forbidding evil, and patience.
And finally, crucially for life's journey, endure patiently whatever befalls you. Luqman acknowledges that doing the right thing, especially encouraging good and forbidding evil, often brings hardship, challenges, adversity.
It's not always easy.
Definitely not. So he highlights the absolute necessity of patience, Saber. He calls it a resolve to aspire to, meaning it's a noble, firm determination you have to actively cultivate, strive for.
And patience is highly valued.
Immensely. Hadith literature praises it extensively. A believer is rewarded for every pain, even a thorn prick, the smallest sorrow. Allah promises paradise for those patient right at the first shock of trauma, shows the reward for immediate, steadfast resilience. Patience is presented as the indispensable key to handling life's difficulties, keeping your moral compass steady amidst trials, and ultimately attaining divine reward. It's the spiritual backbone, you could say.
That's incredibly comprehensive, inner and outer strength covered. And finally, Luqman wraps up with really practical guidance on social conduct, character cultivation, humility, moderation. This sounds so relevant for daily life, especially in a world often celebrating the opposite.
Absolutely is. This advice is timeless and so practical, he says. And do not turn your nose up to people, nor walk pridefully upon the earth. Surely Allah does not like whoever is arrogant, boastful.
Avoid arrogance. That seems key.
Paramount. Turning your nose up, that signifies that look, that gesture of prideful disdain, contempt for others. And walking pridefully refers to an arrogant, showy way of walking, drawing attention.
And Islam condemns pride strongly.
Very strongly. We mentioned the hadith. Mustard seed of pride shall not enter paradise. Another hadith warns against dragging your clothes out of pride. It's put starkly. Paradise people are humble. Hellfire people are arrogant. Pride isn't just unpleasant, it's a spiritual barrier. Its absence is a hallmark of the truly righteous.
Okay. What else on conduct?
Then be moderate in your pace. This encourages a balanced, purposeful walk, modest, controlled, avoids laziness, but also avoids drawing unnecessary attention with an overly hurried or flashy stride. A calm, dignified presence.
Moderation in walking. Interesting detail.
It reflects an inner state. And finally, lower your voice. With that incredibly vivid reason. For the ugliest of all voices is certainly the braying of donkeys.
Huh. That's blunt.
It advises against loud, harsh, obnoxious tones. Those reflect disrespect, a volatile inner state. It encourages a calm, gentle, respectful demeanor, indicating inner modesty, control. Not needing to dominate with noise or aggression, being considerate, pleasant.
So, taken all together, Luca's advice is incredibly broad.
It really is. From the core belief, Tawhid interfaith, Aqidah, to social etiquette, outward conduct, akhlaq, and even social responsibility, it shows Islam as a truly holistic way of life.
You can't separate inner faith and outer conduct.
Exactly. You can't be truly righteous without cultivating both. The hadith on pride, the mustard seed of faith, they emphasize that even the smallest internal states, the smallest outward expressions of character, they all get weighed by Allah. It's about purifying both the heart and the actions.
Luqman's wisdom truly provides a holistic blueprint. But the surah doesn't stop there, does it? It keeps challenging us, especially about rejecting blind imitation and fully embracing monotheism.
That's right, the challenge continues.
The surah reminds us again of Allah's countless blessings, seen and unseen. But then it pivots to this critical warning about blind imitation. What's the deep danger there?
Allah first sets this grand stage, reminding us of His immense blessings. Do you not see that Allah has subjected to you whatever is in the heavens and whatever is in the earth, and has completed His favors upon you, both apparent and unapparent? He reminds us of everything He's given us, visible and invisible, all for our benefit.
Setting the stage with gratitude.
Precisely. But then comes the sharp intellectual challenge, the warning against spiritual stagnation. And when it is said to them, follow what Allah has revealed, they say, rather, we will follow that which we found our fathers doing, even though Satan was inviting them to the punishment of the blaze.
We'll just do what our fathers did. That sounds familiar even today.
Doesn't it? And the commentary, the tafsir, really emphasizes the profound flaw, the intellectual dishonesty, in relying only on ancestral traditions or what your forefathers did as proof for your beliefs, especially if they were misguided or hadn't received the truth.
So tradition isn't always right.
Not if it contradicts revelation. This blind imitation is presented as so dangerous, so spiritually perilous, that the verse says it can lead you to follow Satan straight to hellfire.
Wow. Strong words.
It underscores the critical role of independent reasoning, personal conviction, seeking knowledge and faith. It's about active discernment, thoughtful engagement with divine guidance, not passive, unthinking acceptance just because that's how we've always done it.
It's a powerful call to think for yourself.
Demand evidence. Choose truth based on revelation and reason, not just unexamined tradition, especially when that tradition goes against clear guidance.
So it's a call to intellectual courage, really, to examine your own beliefs. And how does the surah contrast the fate of those who do truly submit versus those who refuse, who stick to that blind imitation?
It draws a very clear, almost definitive distinction. Two paths, two ultimate destinations. For those who truly submit, embrace genuine faith, it says. And whoever submits his face to Allah while he is a doer of good, then he has grasped the most trustworthy handhold, and to Allah will be the outcome of all matters.
Submits his face to Allah while he is a doer of good. What does that mean exactly?
That phrase beautifully emphasizes the concept of ihsan.
Ihsan, you mentioned that before, the highest level of faith.
Exactly, where you worship Allah as if you see Him, or at least knowing with absolute certainty that He sees you. It's a deeper spiritual state than just ticking boxes or outward conformity. It's striving for perfection, excellence, complete sincerity in everything you do.
So, ihsan, it's more than just following rules. Can you give us a real-world example? What might worshiping Allah as if you see Him actually look like day to day?
That's a vital clarification because ihsan is the peak. In the real world, ihsan shows up as this heightened, almost tangible awareness of Allah's presence in everything, like, say, at work. It means not just doing your job, but doing it with utmost integrity, honesty, diligence, even when nobody's watching, because you know Allah is watching.
So no cutting corners.
Right. Giving your absolute best effort, treating colleagues, clients fairly, not just to hit a target, but because you're striving for excellence in God's sight.
Makes sense. What about something like charity?
Giving sadaqah with ihsan, it isn't just dropping a coin in a box. It's giving from your best, with a pure intention, seeking only Allah's pleasure, doing it in a way that preserves the recipient's dignity.
Not for show.
Not for show, not for self-congratulation. It's internalizing the truth that Allah sees the deepest intentions of your heart, the finest details of your actions. This deep awareness cultivates sincere devotion, a continuous striving for moral and spiritual perfection. The implication is, true success needs this deep internal state, this knowledge that Allah knows what's in your heart. It brings profound security, trust in divine justice.
Okay, that clarifies ihsan. Now, what about the contrast? Those who disbelieve.
For them, the message is stark. And whoever disbelieves, let not his disbelief grieve you. To us is their return, and we will inform them of what they did. Indeed, Allah is knowing of that within the breasts. We grant them enjoyment for a little. Then we will compel them to a harsh punishment.
Let not his disbelief grieve you. That sounds like comfort for the Prophet, peace be upon him.
It is. He's comforted, reassured. The disbelief of others shouldn't overwhelm him, cause undue grief, because ultimate accountability, that's solely with Allah.
We can only guise, not force belief.
Exactly. Their ultimate choice, the consequences, that's between them and their Creator. Allah, in His perfect justice, might grant them some brief enjoyment here, a fleeting ease or prosperity. But their final payment for rejecting truth, it will be severe, inescapable.
This brings us to a truly mind-boggling contemplation of Allah's infinite attributes, His boundless knowledge and power, a concept that really stretches our understanding.
It really does.
The surah paints this incredible picture of Allah's infinite knowledge. How does it convey something so vast that our limited human minds can even begin to grasp it?
It uses this incredibly powerful imaginative illustration, a metaphor that pushes our imagination to its absolute limit. And if all the trees on earth were pens, and if the sea and 7 more added to it were ink, the words of God would not be exhausted. Verily, Allah is almighty, all-wise.
All the trees as pens.
Yeah.
All the oceans, times 7, as ink.
Imagine that. Every single tree, every drop of water in all the oceans, multiplied by 7 more oceans of ink. Even with that unimaginable amount of writing material, the words of God, His knowledge, wisdom, decrees, creations, attributes, they still wouldn't be exhausted.
It's truly infinite.
It illustrates the infinite nature of Allah's knowledge and wisdom, far, far beyond our comprehension, our ability to record, understand, even imagine. It should inspire absolute awe, humility.
And putting this right after the discussion on blind imitation, there's a connection.
The profound implication, yes. It suggests true guidance comes from acknowledging this boundless divine wisdom, not from relying on limited human traditions or interpretations, which are inherently finite, prone to error, bias.
Divine knowledge versus limited human tradition.
Exactly. The vastness of divine knowledge contrasts sharply with the often misguided, incomplete knowledge passed down through mere tradition. The implication. Seeking real truth, genuine knowledge, ultimate guidance requires turning to the infinite source, Allah's revelation and signs, not being confined by human limits or errors, which is precisely what blind imitation does. It's an invitation. Transcend human narrowness, embrace divine expansiveness.
And it's not just about knowledge, but also His incredible power. The creation and resurrection of all humanity is likened to creating just one soul. What does that statement mean for us? We see so much complexity in life and death.
It's a truly profound statement on divine simplicity, effortless efficiency. The creation of you and your resurrection is not but as that of a single soul. Indeed, Allah is hearing and seeing.
Azizi's creating one person.
From a human view, creating billions of unique individuals, complex biology, consciousness, experiences, or resurrecting them all after death, perfectly intact. It seems impossibly complex, an insurmountable challenge.
Right.
But for Allah, the Creator, it's as effortless as simple as creating or resurrecting just one single soul. No added difficulty, no matter the scale. It challenges our limited human ideas of complexity, difficulty. It fosters deeper awe, absolute trust in Allah's effortless, absolute power.
So the implication for believers.
Never ever doubt Allah's ability to do anything, no matter how impossible or intricate it seems to us. This strengthens our reliance on Him, tawakkul, that deep, abiding trust in His power, His plan. It profoundly reinforces faith in the hereafter, the reality of resurrection.
And the surah gives more proofs of power.
Yes, tangible proofs. How Allah makes night gradually enter day, day enter night, that seamless transition. How He subjected the sun and moon to His command, each running its precise course for a set term, maintaining perfect celestial order.
All leading to a final point.
Yes, the ultimate decisive lesson. That is because Allah is the truth, and that whatever they call upon other than Him is falsehood, and because Allah is the Most High, the Grand. He is the ultimate reality, the only true God. Everything else worshipped besides Him, false, baseless fabrication.
With these profound statements on Allah's power and truth, the surah then pivots one last time. It brings us to the inevitable reality of the Day of Judgment, a crucial reminder for everyone.
The final reckoning.
The surah concludes with these powerful reminders of divine signs and the certainty of this day, urging deep reflection on His grace. How does it show us Allah's grace, and what human tendency does it highlight in contrast, almost like a warning?
The surah first points to Allah's immense, often overlooked grace in nature. Do you not see that ships sail in the sea by Allah's grace, that He may show you some of His signs? Surely there are signs in this for everyone who is steadfast, thankful.
Ship sailing as a sign of grace.
Yes. How Allah, by His grace and power, lets massive ships cross vast oceans, defying gravity, density. It's a clear sign, especially for those who are patient, steadfast through hardship, and grateful, appreciative in all circumstances. It reminds us how much we rely on Him, even in our technology.
But then there's a contrast, a human weakness.
Immediately after showing this grace, it highlights a common, often disappointing human weakness. When waves engulf them in the sea like canopies, they call upon Allah, consecrating their faith solely to Him. But when He delivers them safely to the land, some of them become lukewarm. None denies our signs except the perfidious, the ungrateful.
The foxhole conversion. Praying hard when in danger, then forgetting later.
Exactly. It vividly shows that pattern. Crisis-driven faith, lacking deep conviction. People sincerely, desperately call on Allah in extreme danger. Terrifying storm at sea, all human means failed. But once safe on shore, peril past. Some become lukewarm, gratitude fades. They might revert to disbelief, heedlessness.
Perfidious and ungrateful.
It reveals that nature, a selective faith, only showing up under duress. The implication. True faith requires steadfastness, consistent gratitude in all circumstances, not just when desperate. It urges us to cultivate an enduring, consistent relationship with Allah, built on deep conviction and constant remembrance, not just crisis management.
And then comes that stark, undeniable warning about the Day of Judgment itself. A day when even the strongest bonds, parent and child, won't help. What does that tell us about individual accountability in its ultimate form?
The warning is unequivocal, direct, deeply sobering, cuts through any illusion of shared burden. O people, fear the wrath of your Lord and dread the day when no father will stand for his child, nor any child stand for his father. Surely Allah's promise is true.
No father for his child, no child for his father.
It underscores the absolute, undeniable nature of individual accountability on that day. The strongest natural human bonds are family, parent, child, where selfless sacrifice is common. But by stating even these closest bonds are severed then, that no one can intercede or carry another's burden, it emphasizes each soul is utterly alone, solely responsible for its own deeds, its own choices.
No passing the buck, no relying on anyone else.
None. The profound implication for you, listening, your ultimate priority must be your own spiritual state, your own deeds. No one else, however beloved, close, influential, can effectively intercede or carry your sins.
It fosters self-reliance and righteousness.
Absolutely. Encourages taking full personal responsibility, prevents complacency based on others' piety or status, and it further warns strongly, don't be deceived by the fleeting allure of this world or by Satan, the deluder, about Allah's mercy or forbearance. The promise of Judgment Day is true, inevitable. It's a call to immediate, earnest self-reflection. Preparation.
Finally, the surah emphasizes our limited understanding by listing matters known only to Allah. What are these matters of the unseen that remain exclusively in divine knowledge? And why is it important for us to recognize that exclusivity?
The surah concludes by listing 5 specific matters of the unseen, the ghaib, known only to Allah. It states, "Surely Allah alone has the knowledge of the hour. It is He who sends down the rain and knows what is in the wombs, although no person knows what he will earn tomorrow, nor does he know in which land he will die. Indeed, Allah is all-knowing, all-aware."
The hour, rain, wombs, tomorrow's earnings, place of death.
These 5 specific things, the exact time of Judgment Day, precisely when where beneficial rain falls, the full details of what's in the womb, beyond what science can currently see, exactly what you'll earn tomorrow, your precise fate and sustenance, and exactly where you'll die, they powerfully reinforce Allah's exclusive, comprehensive knowledge.
Things we just can't know for sure.
Exactly. They are realms of knowledge humanity, despite all advancements, cannot fully grasp or predict. It's a profound reminder of our inherent limitations, our dependence on Him, the vastness of what's beyond our perception, control, or accurate foresight. Recognizing this exclusivity, it cultivates humility, strengthens reliance on Allah, reminds us our knowledge is just a drop in the ocean compared to His infinite wisdom.
Okay, we've truly taken a deep dive today into timeless wisdom from Surah Luqman. Expert, reflecting on all this, what stands out to you as the core takeaway from this incredible journey?
For me, I think the core takeaway is just the profound, enduring relevance of Surah Luqman. It's not just verses. It's a complete, holistic blueprint for a righteous life.
Holistic really seems to be the key word.
It is. Deeply rooted in Tawhid, Allah's oneness, guided by divine wisdom, it systematically covers every facet of life. Foundational beliefs, detailed moral conduct, crucial social interactions, the ultimate realities of life and the hereafter.
And Luqman's advice itself?
Timeless. Universally applicable, guiding us towards sincerity in worship, respect for creation, strong, compassionate family bonds, deep humility, unwavering patience through life's trials. It consistently invites reflection on Allah's signs, the inevitability of accountability, urging us to prioritize the eternal over the fleeting distractions of this world.
The deep dive into Surah Luqman truly emphasizes that true success isn't just about what we achieve in this life, but how we align our actions, our intentions, with a divine purpose, an eternal perspective.
Well said.
So what does this all mean for you as you go about your day right after listening to this?
Well, consider this. This surah, revealed over 1,400 years ago, gives this comprehensive framework for ethical living. Now think about the myriad distractions, the constant noise, the complexities of our modern world. How might actively contemplating Allah's signs in creation, like those ships sailing, or the forces holding the heavens, or consciously adopting Luqman's advice on humility and moderation in your interactions, your communication, how might that fundamentally shift your daily approach to life? How could cultivating that inner spiritual awareness, knowing even a mustard seed of a deed is seen, how could that reshape your inner state and your outward conduct? And perhaps even change the quality of your relationships, your overall well-being.
Truly something to ponder as you navigate the complexities of your world. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
Always a pleasure.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep striving to be well-informed.